Grateful, arrogant, versatile, honest, passionate, prideful, and nuts is how my guest today describes himself. He's a middle-class boy, made bad, made good again in his real life. He's already been an addict, a petty criminal, and a supermodel contest winner. Interesting and mix don't even seem to begin to cover him. This should be a good one. As well as starring in this summer's biggest blockbuster, the star I'm meeting today also wins the award for farthest distance travelled to be on this show, having just stepped off a flight from Australia, where he's currently filming one of next year's most highly anticipated films. But more on that in a bit, because he's over here. Episode 7, Season 4 of The Guest List brings us a British actor whose star is officially on the rise. He's thick as thieves with Morgan Freeman, he's got under the skin of a murderer, and has kicked Mel Gibson's Mad Max to the curb. He's currently incepting your subconscious, so let's hope he doesn't mind delving deep today as he joins me on The Guest List. Tom Hardy, how are you? It's lovely to see you.
Good, how are you? Well,
I'm all right, man. I'm not too bad. Is it nice being back in London, your hometown?
yeah, it's lovely to be back.
Good, good. Well, it's lovely to have you here on the guest list. Before we talk about the movies that you've picked for us, it's only right to talk about one of the biggest movie releases this year, which is, of course, Inception.
A single idea from the human mind can build cities. An idea can transform the world and rewrite all the rules. Which is why I have to steal it.
It's not the kind of movie that people want to know too much about, I don't imagine, before seeing it. So what can you tell us?
Basically, it's a high-octane action thriller heist movie with a twist.
And that's it, that's all I'm getting.
Would you like more?
Oh, a little bit, just,
Right,
just to whet my appetite.
It's about a group of unscrupulous, rather ambiguous characters that delve into other people's subconscious in order to steal or leave information.
Okay, that's good, I like that.
Is that right?
That's enough for me.
It is enough.
I don't want any more than that, because it is a movie that's been pretty much on information lockdown.
Yeah.
It's in its entire existence up until recently. When you were making it, did you know what the overall thing was, or was it one of those, there's your line and that's all we can tell you?
No, I was lucky. I was one of the few that actually got a script to read in its entirety. There were, members of the crew, they didn't know, they were creating stuff and sets for scenes that they had no idea what they were going to be used for. And then there was a whole cloak and dagger sort of approach to the piece, I think very sensibly, to allow it to be fresh when an audience sees it and it to be a surprise and all that good stuff.
In many ways, I guess your time on set was similar to the plot in that you could deal information, had you chosen to the crew members who knew nothing. You could sell off what was actually going on and what indeed they were building.
Yeah, could have done, but I didn't
No, I'm not saying you did. Yeah. I'm not accusing you of going, oh, I found out loads about this movie. It came from you, apparently, Tom. So what can you tell me about your character, Eames?
There's a group, the Unscrupulous, led by Leonardo's character, Cobb, and my character, Eames, is part of that gang.
You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling.
And within that gang, you have sort of safecrackers and security members or whatever. My character's a forger, and I shapeshift and manipulate and lie, and I'm a bit devious.
Sorry, that giggle there was the giggle of a man who was very excited. Christopher Nolan. Now, he is well on his way to establishing himself as one of the great directors of his generation, if not all time. What was it like working with him?
It's incredible. I mean, getting offered to do something with Chris Nolan is a no-brainer for an actor, and for me specifically, the opportunity to work with him, I would read a shopping list for him, or Yellow Pages or anything.
Let's move on to some of your choices of other people's work that you've picked for us today. These are movies that you've seen, that you loved, that you recommend other people to see, and what a great list of choices today. They're brilliant, Tom. Let's start from 1984, Beverly Hills Cop.
Hello.
Stay away from this case, Axel.
How you doing?
I just bet you are the pride of your department in Detroit.
I wanted to be Axel Foley for many, many years after that.
Hey!
And,
I can see one major problem, but go on.
Yeah. Yeah. Point taken. But still, I just thought it was really funny, and at the same time, it was a mixture of sort of character acting, comedy, and a bit of serious as well. And the amalgamation of it was very flashy and cool, and yet quite gritty. And it was one of the first films I heard with swearing, like really heavy swearing. I thought, this is great. This is proper. And drugs, and fast cars, and like idiot cops, and that whole thing. And it was gritty and funny at the same time, and raw.
Don't wanna take it anymore. I'll just lay locked behind the door.
Oh, we should have known it was you.
And Eddie Murphy, I mean, this is one of the definite Murphy high points in his long career. I mean, he kind of owned the 80s, but this, as Axel
Him and Michael
Foley-
J. Fox.
Of course, Michael J. Fox. So I'm
I'm not going to lie, though he did, kind of. You know what I mean? To be honest, with Teen Wolf and stuff like that, he was pretty cool. Axel Foley, on the other hand, had, balls. Not that Michael J. Fox doesn't.
Yeah.
But, Axel Foley seemed to have more balls.
Well, you couldn't see Michael J. Fox doing some of the stuff that Axel Foley did. I mean, he was in The Hard Way with James Woods. Remember that, where he played the actor trying to learn how to be a cop?
No, but I did love Axel Rose. Not Axel Rose, Axel Foley. Axel Rose, that's
But you might like him as well.
the singer guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was awesome.
He was
Guns
great.
N' Roses. What was he in?
Didn't make a lot of movies.
No?
No.
Okay.
No.
Showbiz.
But Eddie Murphy, I mean, that sort of like it's so obvious that he's improvising so much of that film, because I think the script in the end was pieced together from loads of bits here and there, and whenever they got stuck, they just turned it over to Murphy, and he'd make stuff up.
Yeah, but he was cool, and it was the first time you sort of saw that raw street edge in a movie.
Tell me, son, what's the charge?
Possession of a concealed weapon and disturbing the peace.
Disturbing the peace I got thrown out of a window. What's the charge for getting pushed out of a moving car, huh? Jaywalking?
You've got a kid who was from out of town who was living the high life a little bit, or come from, it's like the original Eminem, it's sort of 8 Mile.
Yep.
In many ways, you know what I mean?
From Detroit to Beverly Hills, yeah.
There you go.
You always take your gun on vacation?
In Detroit, cops are required to carry a firearm at all times.
Well, if you want to carry a gun, I suggest you go back there.
Well, I really can't wait to get back there.
It's a bit like when we hit the Dorchester today,
Is it really?
Yeah.
Another thing I love, Judge Reinhold in that film. Billy,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
he's another icon of the 80s.
Yeah, it's a Taggart, the other guy.
Yeah.
But the pair of them, the idiot cops, brilliant. Have you seen it recently?
I have, yeah.
Is it still stand up?
Of course, yeah, oh,
I'm going
definitely.
to go back and watch that. Yeah.
The sequels, number 2's all right, number 3.
But it was number one. Number one, I just remember being brilliant. You know what I mean? And it had that angry Detroit cop. Who's like, yeah, it was great. Great film.
There's a brilliant little scene when Eddie Murphy's improvising the Super Cops bit, and you can actually see, because it was improvised, you see Judge Reinhold with his hand in his pocket nipping his thigh to not laugh because it was so funny on set.
Really? Is that in the film?
It's in the film, yeah.
They're not just regular cops, okay? They're super cops. And the only thing missing on these guys are capes.
I have to watch Sky movies to see this film again.
It's a good channel. And that track, the track by Harold Faltermeyer, it just defined the 80s. Do.
Yes.
That and oh yeah.
Yeah. But Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah, that's right. Right, time for the next movie on your list from 1967, a classic, Cool Hand Luke.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
I needed money, God, I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and
What we got here is a failure to communicate.
Great film.
Classic.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
It is a classic. I mean, you're right to call it a classic. It's a fantastic film. Why do you like it? Do you remember when you first saw it?
Actually, I saw it quite late in my life. My mum was like going, you've really got to watch this film. And I did, and it was really special. I think it was a beautiful performance and just a beautiful film to watch. And I love Paul Newman in it. And do you know who reminded me of it recently? Colin Farrell in Tigerland. I thought it was very close, very similar sort of energy.
Yeah.
Just style
I
of
can see
acting.
that.
I thought that was very, very close. But I just love the anti-hero that Paul Newman plays.
As an actor, is it more fun to play an anti-hero?
I think there's something obviously very interesting about the ambiguity of characters as opposed to two-dimensional cookie-cutting kind of passes, which I wouldn't turn down, obviously, financially. I don't necessarily, depending on where I was at, because life is life. But at the same time, there is obviously in the struggle to serve humanity in the sacred cause of art. Ideally, it would be ambiguous sort of anti-hero characters that are the most exciting because they cover all bases, don't they?
One of the most famous scenes in Cool Hand Luke is undoubtedly the egg eating scene.
Go! 1, 2, 3.
Man, he's gonna lose a finger eating eggs like that.
You a fan of eggs?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of eggs actually.
Boiled eggs?
Boiled eggs, yes.
I judge people on whether or not they like eggs.
I like poached eggs as well.
Best kind
and
of egg.
Scrambled.
Any kind of egg you don't eat?
Women's eggs.
Good call.
It's not right, is it?
It's no, they're not very big either.
They're hard to get to as well, do you know what I mean?
So,
you need to be very busy.
Yeah, or tiny, very small. Right, that is it for part 1 of the guest list, but join me in part 2 when we're going to be talking through some more of the favourite films of Mr. Tom Hardy. See you in a moment. Hello and welcome back to part 2 of the guest list, where today I'm talking through the favourite films of Mr. Tom Hardy. Now, one movie that I have to mention, if only because it's been the source of so much internet speculation, but now it is confirmed, you are Mad Max.
Yeah.
Now, is it the 4th movie or is it a remake of the first? What can you tell us? I don't want to press you for too much, but please.
It's quite difficult to say because obviously I can't say anything about it.
How does it feel to be Mad Max then?
It's a mixture of daunting because it belongs, obviously to Mel, Mad Max in many ways. But at the same time, it's a challenge. It's an opportunity I really want to take on and see what I can do with it. And also, George Miller is such a wonderful man, a wonderful artist, and very kind and analytical sort of a human being as well. The approach to the work is very different to that of some kind of, in many ways, like Chris Nolan as well approaches movies, but I'm really excited about it. And I just got back from Australia and had a good look at all the vehicles that they've created, and there is an extensive collection of archaic sort of vehicles, and it's hardcore, and they've developed new cameras, 3D cameras and stuff to go inside them, and it's very big, but at the same time, it seems to be that the fans of the original Mad Max find so important is the human story within that wasteland and within that world and in a society which is deprived of emotions like love and kindness, and in a very ruthless world. I think it's much more. It's going to be more like more of that, but with a high octane level of smash bang wallop, crash, all that kind of stuff. But for real, as opposed to CGI. I think they're going to really smash up some stuff in it.
I'm sold already. I'm sold. Road Warrior is in my top 10 movies. The second one, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
Right then, next choice from 1998, The Big Lebowski.
I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
They did not receive the money. Her life was in your hands.
Why?
Philip Seymour Hoffman and the dude. I love it, and I love Jesus, the characters, the Coen brothers. I love all of it. I love all of that. I laugh out loud funny.
Donnie was a good bowler and a good man. Good night, sweet prince.
That's the only movie that I actually have cried with laughter, and I can watch again. And my favourite part of it is when the guy goes out of the room and the dude gets up at that party and he goes to see what he's written down. When he was taking a phone call, and he writes something down on the pad, puts the phone down, and he leaves the room, and the dude scratches with a bit of pencil, and it's just a penis. And the guy comes back and he's like, oh no, sits down, pretends he hasn't done anything. And I cried with laughter. I think that was genius. Everything's genius about that film.
Now, I've interviewed a few actors who often pick Coen Brothers movies. Is it because they're kind of an actor's director in the sense that they have really well-drawn characters?
I'm not really technical about things. When I look at something, if I engage in a film and I'm drawn into it, and then I'm no longer watching a film, but I'm involved in the story, and especially if I'm really enjoying myself, it's an experience. I don't realise I've watched a film, and they've given me that experience.
Would you like to work with them?
Yes, of course I would. I think they're really classy filmmakers. Obviously, I'd love to work with them.
I like the fact that Jeff Bridges would start a scene by going, "Has the dude burned one?" before he gets here, and the Coen brothers would go yes or no, and if they said yes, he's rub his eyes with his knuckles before shooting the scene.
Really?
Yeah.
I love the scene where he drops the spliff as well in his pants. That film is full of brilliant scenes. And he's brilliant. He's a brilliant actor.
Now, another movie that is it would be foolhardy not to mention, with you sitting right here, is Bronson.
My name's Charles Bronson. And all my life I've wanted to be famous. I knew I was made for better things. I had a calling. I just didn't know what as. I wasn't singing, can't act, kind of running out of choices, really.
Yeah, I've been doing, acting for about 12 years, 10 years, and just trying to get something done whereby I felt that I was participating not just as punching the clock as an actor. And yeah, it was a good workout and good fun, and it allowed me to sort of stretch myself a bit when I was hungry to do something. And then also we were involved very heavily in the writing.
Now, I know you spent time with him. How much time, though, did you spend, and what was that like?
It was unusual. Obviously, I had to visit him in prison. Mm-hmm. And he was in the isolated unit, the solitary confinement unit. Visiting was a bit like going onto a nuclear submarine in many ways, or inside a shoebox, and right in the back of some nasty prison, you know what I mean? But well out of my comfort zone anyway, nothing that I'd experienced before. As we built a relationship together, specifically for the nature of this film, and observing and reflecting and listening to the stories, and it was important and essential that for me.
And the initial meeting, though, would you be scared meeting someone like that? Was there an element of fear?
Yes, of course there was. I think it would be sensible.
Yeah.
The rug was pulled under my feet, and a lot of the stuff around Charles Bronson is projection based on people who haven't met him, or And I can't speak for victims of his crimes as well, because that's a completely different perspective again. But my job was to play and portray him for whatever. My reasons being, it was a challenge, and something that I enjoyed. But initially, I was very frightened. Because I didn't think I could handle it.
A phenomenal film, though. A phenomenal film. You have made, so far, Rock and Roller, a gangster movie, Bronson, You're a Criminal, Inception, Crime of the Mind, Mad Max, Crime-Fighting Cop, The Take.
It's my call sheet,
on
like
Sky
my rap sheet. Right.
Would it be fair to say you like your crime dramas?
No, that's what I've been offered, so I'm actually into romantic comedy and pantomime and things like that. Simple storytelling, simple happy-faced people, that's really what I'd like to do more.
Okay, I can see that,
Charming people in cardigans that...
Yeah?
Sort of find love,
Oh, yeah.
And keep it.
And, look at the sky at night and sort of wonder about their place in the cosmos.
There you go.
Ice skating at midnight.
There you go, like London really is. I'd like to think that I could pull off a romantic comedy. And I definitely will try at some point. But,
I look forward to that.
If I get the opportunity. But it's about opportunity, and, if no one's asking, then...
Right, it's our final movie we've got there, and it is from 2008, Tropic Thunder.
Let's go and make the greatest war movie ever! Yeah.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
Precious.
Welcome to the jungle. It's gonna bring you down.
And cut! That's the trailer right there.
Yeah, this is specifically for performance. Robert Downey Jr. is brilliant.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
What?
And I love Robert Downey Jr.'s work in everything.
I don't break character until the DVD commentary.
Man, I don't drop character till I've done the DVD commentary.
Yeah. But it's Tom Cruise for me in that, with the prosthetic forearms, and the hairy knuckles, and the teeth and the violence.
The universe is talking to us right now. You just gotta listen.
See, this is the good part, Pecker. It's when the job gets fun.
Yeah.
Ask, and you shall receive.
All right.
You play ball, we play ball. I know you want the goodies.
His ability to shapeshift is uncanny, and when he does that, that's when I find him truly, truly, truly brilliant. That's a skill, and I thought that character was fantastic.
I mean, Tom Cruise, you're right to mention him. I can watch that hip-hop dance sequence he does over the credits at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Again and again and again.
It just jumps out. I'm sorry, I've got really bad jet lag.
I know.
I'm really enjoying this interview. It's not...
Did we get that? Because we'll use that. Yep.
But it does jump off the screen. That character is so large in life, and actually, I feel like I've met that person as well. And it's definitely the interior landscape that I project onto certain executives that I have met, even if they don't show it aesthetically. That is definitely going on, and you have to be absolutely aware that That's how it gets down, you know.
It's a kind of who's who of comedy, as well as Robert Downey Jr., who we mentioned, Jack Black.
Yeah.
He's great in it. And a very Steve Coogan.
Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller, yeah.
Brilliant. And obviously Nick Nolte, I'm a big Nick Nolte fan as well.
Good job, turd. You killed the director.
You've made a movie with Nick Nolte, Warrior.
Yeah, it just did a sort of a film about cage fighting, you know. Branching out slowly towards my romantic comedy. You know?
There's not been a cage fighting romantic comedy.
Not yet, no.
You know?
Well, almost. You haven't seen Warrior yet. You know?
Oh, wow, I'm excited.
Me, Nick Nolte, pair of pants, cage.
Just one pair of pants? Because that's...
Just one.
Wow. I think Tropic Thunder is the noughties generation Three Amigos, which was ours in the 80s. You know, it's about characters who think it's all fake when we know it's real.
Oh, yeah.
You see my connection there?
Absolutely. And also, how old are you?
31, how old are you?
Yeah, same age, yeah. 30, well, I'm a bit older than you, 32, 33, whatever. Like, getting older. Yeah, I think, yeah. And,
you were on that plane a long time.
It is a long time. Why did they put Australia so far away? So unnecessary. You'd have thought nowadays with the technology that they could have moved it a little bit closer.
Hooks.
Ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, we were brought up on Vietnam movies, like our Western.
Yeah.
You know, like with Platoon, Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket. So it was great to see Tropic Thunder was like Bush. Like, okay, yeah, I get that. I can buy into that immediately. And obviously, it's robustly full of talent.
Tom, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. Thank you for picking those movies.
It's always a pleasure.
And hopefully I'll see you again very soon.
I hope so. That means I'll be employed.
So there you have it. It's Mr. Tom Hardy, one of the most exciting talents to emerge from Britain recently, and a man I can't wait to see as the iconic Mad Max. He likes eggs too, which is nice. So that is it for this week. But join us again on our next show, when I'm going to be talking through the favourite films of none other than Andy Garcia. Until then, bye-bye.